Hey guys, we're going to go over the first 5 warm-up question for week 4. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can look at this problem together. This problem asks us to complete the square when there's one variable. I'm going to go ahead and write out what the question is. So here's our question. It's x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Okay. So there's a few steps. I'm going to label out the steps. I recommend that you also label out the steps as you go. So step 1 is to take whatever number doesn't have a variable connected to it. In this case, that's plus 8, and move it to the other side of the equal sign. In order to do that, we have to cancel it out here. And whatever we do to cancel it out here, we do the opposite of the sign that's shown. So if it's plus 8, we're going to do minus 8. So we get x squared plus 6x equals negative 8. And again, the way I got that was to say, in order to move this over here, I'm going to do minus 8 on both sides. It cancels it here. And I do 0 minus 8 here to get my minus 8 that I now see over here. So that's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to take my number, my coefficient associated with a single variable. In this case, that's 6x. I'm going to take this number 6 and I'm going to divide it by 2. So 6 divided by 2, that equals 3. Then I'm going to take that number and I'm going to square it. So 3 squared. When I square something, I'm multiplying it by itself. That gives me 9. I need these numbers, this 3 and this 9, for a future step when I'm going to factor. Okay, so step 3. My next step, I'm coming back up to the equation I had before, x squared plus 6x. Now I'm going to take in step 3 whatever number I got from squaring in step 2 and add it to both sides. So I'm going to add my 9 here, and then I had negative 8 here. I'm going to also add that 9 here. My next step, step 4, I'm just going to do the math on the right side of this equal sign, negative 8 plus 9, but I need to carry everything else down still. So I have 8x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals negative 8 plus 9 is 1. Okay. So all I did for this step was to actually do this. Step 5 is my factoring step. In order to factor, I'm going to create 2 sets of parentheses. Okay. And then I'm going to keep the right side the same. So equals 1 stays the same. Now I'm going to take whatever variable I have that's squared, that's x squared, and I'm going to put it in the beginning of my parentheses, both of them. So one of these x's is going in here, and one of these x's is going in here. Now to finish factoring, I need to find 2 numbers that add to my middle, which is 6, and multiply to this last number, which is 9. But step 2 gave me a cheat for this because I've already done it. If I do 3 plus 3, it adds to 6. If I do 3 times 3, it multiplies to 9. So this step 2 always tells you how you're going to finish your factoring. So I get plus 3 and plus 3. My last step is going to be step 6. And here I'm just going to simplify. If I have x plus 3 times x plus 3, I'm multiplying something by itself. I can simplify that by just saying x plus 3 squared. And then I still need to carry down the rest of this, which is equals 1. And that is how I complete the square with one variable. We are going to, in the rest of this lesson, learn how to do it with 2 variables. We basically add an extra step. Once you're feeling good about this, move on to the next deliverable where we can practice that together.